started and it is time for cauliflower steaks. All right, you guys having fun? Put fun in the chat if you are having a good time. Put fun in the chat if you are having a good time. If you're not having a good time, then I might as well just close the show. So, all right, a couple people are having fun. We're good, we're good, we're good. So we're gonna do cauliflower steaks and we're going to make them, make a pesto sauce for them. All right, now, here's our cauliflower. I wanna show you how to cut the steaks. But I also want, who here loves cauliflower? Put a C in the chat if you love cauliflower. Put a C in the chat if you love cauliflower. I love cauliflower, and I have a client who told me, she says, Tina, I love cauliflower. I hate opening it. It's such a pain in the neck. So I made her a little video of how to do exactly what I'm going to show you. What I'm going to show you right now is not for the recipe. What I'm going to show you right now is for posterity. I don't know where I came up with that word. But you keep it in the plastic that it comes in if you bought the one that comes in plastic. And I'm going to make a lot of noise here, okay? Grip it and slam it. And just keep slamming it until it starts to fall apart. And this is going to make your life so easy and so much fun. You get to get your Russians out in the kitchen. I didn't have to show you this for the recipe today, but I'm like, I love doing this, so I'm going to get an extra cauliflower, and we're going to slam it. All right. And what I did just now is I just popped all of those stems right into the compost. Oops, a whole bunch more stems that have to go into the compost. By the way, if you don't have one of these scrapers, very, very, very handy, because you don't want to use your knife because you can dull the knife. Okay, and you're going to take apart all of this stuff. And by the way, you can eat these leaves. You can eat these leaves. And I guess I didn't slam it hard enough, because if I'd have slammed it harder, these florets would just come right off. And then you rinse it, and then I steam it for 10 minutes from cold water in a steaming pot. How do you like to cook your cauliflower? Put it in the chat. How do you like to cook your cauliflower? Put that in the chat. So there we go. All right, I think it's time for our first prize. Is it time, Caitlin? Yep, it's 2:30. It's time for our first prize. What do we got going on here? I get the wheel of names up on the screen. And yeah, let's get the wheel of names up on the screen. You want to rinse this, right? I'm gonna put this over here. Put all those names in there. Great participation. I love it. All right, here we go. Here we go. You get to choose which one you want, okay? Of the Clyde. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's because you said wooden spoons give umami. I was voting on you. I was betting on you. All right. So in about 15 minutes, Caitlin, we'll do the second one. And at the end of the show, we'll do the third one. All right. Who wants to learn a bit about knife skills? Put hey or the word knife in the chat. Knife skills. I want you to choose the appropriate knife. A dull knife is a dangerous knife. A dull knife is a dangerous knife. Get your knives sharpened. Round things, we want to make them flat. I want you to remember that, because I'm going to ask you. That is telling me that it came up to pressure. It came up to pressure pretty quickly. And now the countdown of the 6 minutes is beginning on the Instant Pot. You're going to hold your knife. A lot of people hold their knife like so, with the finger on the top, and it can slip out of your fingers. We don't want that. We want to keep our fingers, okay? So you're going to put a thumb on one side, an index finger on the other, and then the other 3 fingers around the handle. So you're going to grip it like so, okay? So the dominant hand is going to be holding the knife like so, right? And the non-dominant hand is either going to be fingers all together or in a claw position, okay? I want you to remember that for the rest of your life, for the rest of your life. All right. A dull knife is what? A dull knife is what? Put it in the chat. A dull knife is what? Put it in the chat. What is a dull knife? A dull knife is never cooked cauliflower before. Ah. Well, I hope that a dangerous knife. Thank you. You get 2 points. Whoever put that in the chat, you get 2 points, and you were paying attention. Okay. Here we go. Round things, you make what? Round things, what do you do with round things? What do you do with round things? You make them what? What do you do with round things? You make them, first person to put it in the chat gets 2 points. gets their name in that wheel of names 2 times. You make round things what? Now we're going to make steaks out of this, and the steaks are in quotation marks, right? And you're going to do about 2/3 of an inch, okay? And you'll notice that some of these are going to fall apart. You're just going to steam those up, okay? Other ones are going to be beautiful steaks. There we go. There we go. And this one is going to end up falling apart. Yeah, this one's going to fall apart. So we're just going to steam those, okay? We're going to put those in for steaming. Again, you can eat these leaves. Flat! Thank you, Ashley. Ashley gets 2 points. Thank you. So I got 1, 2, 3 steaks out of this. This one's going to fall apart. Put it over here. Now, why should I not pick stuff up with my knife? And why should I use this scraper to pick stuff up? Why not use my knife? And why use this scraper? Why not use my knife? This is an important thing to learn here. Why not use my knife? Why not use my knife? The knife is dangerous, yeah. And it dulls the knife. And a dull knife is a dangerous knife. Knife is a dangerous knife. Keep your cutting board as clean as possible. Here we go. Give that back to Mother Nature. And now we're going to make a little topping for this. So we're going to get some more garlic. Why are we using fresh garlic? Who remembers why we're using fresh garlic? This is probably, in my eyes, one of the most important things that you can learn today. Why are we using fresh garlic? Who remembers? I'm going to put fresh garlic in there. We're going to use a little bit of sea salt. We're going to use some freshly ground black pepper. Why are we using fresh garlic? Who remembers? And James, I'm giving you 2 points. Thank you. And Claude, you do get a point, and it does kill the bacteria. It's like a vampire. It really is. It really kills the bacteria. Antiviral, antimicrobial, antibacterial, and antiviral. Okay, it's all of those. It's wonderful for you. Fresh garlic. Now, I'm not saying that the powdered garlic and the other garlics are bad. They're not bad. You're just not going to get the immune boosting properties that you deserve. Okay. Now, if you don't have one of these little brushes, basters, you can use your fingers. Put the glove on, use your fingers. You don't have to have all of these gadgets. I did not grow up with gadgets, and I thought that I'd never be a gadget girl. Well, guess what? I'm a gadget girl. But my gadgets are multi-purpose. I always have to have at least 2 purposes for all of my gadgets. So this is what we're going to do. And then we're going to make some pesto sauce here. Okay. 400 degrees, and we're going to roast this 25, 30 minutes, maybe longer, And I'll tell you, it depends on your oven. It depends on your pan. And this is a stoneware that is very well seasoned. I got this at for my wedding anniversary 20 some years ago, and it cooks very evenly. However, I still will turn it in about 20 minutes. So at the end of the show, okay, Google, 20-minute timer. At the end of the show, I will turn that. But I already made them, so I'll show you the finished product after I make the pesto. You guys ready for some pesto? You guys ready for the easiest, simplest, most amazing pesto on the planet Earth? Cauliflower makes a little bit of a mess, so we just have to clean up our little bit of a mess here. All right, who's ready for the most amazing pesto that you've ever had? An easy pesto. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're ready for the most amazing pestos. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start with some garlic. And I'm not going to chop the garlic because I'm putting it in my food processor. And my food processor is going to do all the work for me. I chose the wrong tool there. Did you notice? I chose the huge knife to get the right knife for the right tool. Small paring knife. Press it with the back of your hand, and you see now it makes it super easy to peel. Okay, my 6 minutes are up. Caitlin, may I please have a 5-minute timer? Because after 5 minutes, then I'm going to do a quick release, and then I'll take the chicken out and let it rest. Okay, so you can also roast your garlic. This is fresh garlic, throwing it right in the pot. Can you tell I like garlic? Okay, what are we going to do? Most people make their pesto with basil, right? I have to blow your socks off. I'm gonna make pesto with spinach. Okay. You could also make it with spinach and arugula. You can make it with a combination of basil, parsley, spinach, arugula. You can make it with kale. And let's face it, basil, look, I grow it in my backyard, but I harvested it all and I made a bit of pesto already out of it. And basil can be very expensive and not always available. So we are going to use some spinach. All right, here we go. We're going to use spinach. Does that blow your mind? I hope it does. I hope it does, because I love this trick. Because now you can have, my sister loved making pesto, and she'll bring it to me, or we'll have it at dinner because we eat together a lot. And she'll like, Tina, pesto is a condiment and not a side dish. And I say, Rose, pesto is a side dish, not a condiment. So that's my take on it. All right, so what would you use in your pesto now that I've opened up, I hope I've opened up your mind a little bit. I love making the kale pesto. I'm gonna use a little bit of parsley in here. A little bit of parsley, and hey, I've got some basil, so I'm gonna use some basil. So I lived for a summer up in Genoa. I lived in Italy for a while, but I had a summer up in Genoa with a business partner of mine. And I'm like, I asked him, he's Genovese, what makes the basil so special, or the pesto so special in Genoa? And he said, it's the variety of pesto. And he says, you don't wash it. I said, are you kidding me? You're not going to wash your pesto, your basil before you eat it? He goes, no, the rain washed it. You're fine. So anyhow, the rain imparts too much water and it changes the pesto. So a lot of people use pine nuts in their pesto. I am using walnuts. And I toast the walnuts literally in my toaster oven, and again on another stoneware. So I'm going to put a bunch of walnuts in there, as I like my pesto very nutty. There we go. The next thing I'm going to use that is very, very Italian is Parmesan cheese. And not only that, but freshly ground Parmesan cheese. When you buy it already freshly grated, I meant to say, when you buy it already grated, they put some fillers. I can't remember what they use. They use a binding agent, I think, or it's not that. They use something that coats it, that it's fresher. It tastes so much better when you grate it yourself. I know growing up, that was always my dad's job, and he's 83 and it's still his job to grate the Parmesan cheese. All right. So we've got some Parmesan cheese. We're going to put some lemon juice in there, the juice of 1 lemon. And we're going to put some extra virgin olive oil. If someone can tell me what I did with my olive oil, here it is. All right. We're going to use some salt. We're going to use some pepper. And when you're done with this pesto, you're going to put it in a jar and you're going to cover it with olive oil, and that will preserve it. So you have it for a long time. Again, only a half a teaspoon of sea salt. Now, why do you think I'm using sea salt? Why sea salt? Sea salt, I'm just going to tell you, is full of minerals that the sodium chloride regular table salt does not have minerals. Minerals are what actually open up your cells and allow hydration to happen. So I even put a little sea salt in my water, just a little pinch of sea salt in my water. All right, let me make sure I got all my ingredients. I'm pretty sure I do, because I made this forever, my entire life. And there we go. Food processor. Perfect. This pesto was almost done. Needed just a little bit more. We'll show it to you. Now, Wolfgang taught me that you're supposed to taste your food. I typically don't taste my food on a show, just in case I choke, but we're going to do it anyway. Of course, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Arugula would have popped the flavor. The arugula would have taken it over the edge and given it, I don't know if you would call that umami, but probably. Probably. All right, let's put the blade in a very safe place. Same thing with your knives. Put them in safe places. Don't let them clank up against other items, because it will hit them and make them not so sharp. and it'll dull them. And a dull knife is what? A dangerous knife. You guys know that already. All right, so there we go. This cauliflower steak fell apart, but at least we have these two that I roasted earlier and are complete. So you can serve this and then they can spoon the pesto right on top of that. Doesn't that look gorgeous? What's that? I almost feel like it needs, I know, we're gonna do this. This is what it needs. That's what it needs. Much prettier, right? All right, you guys like that? Give me a 10 in the chat if you're like, yes, I'm gonna make that.